being in the Yumi Wall clan, that would be to be
Yeah,
expected.
that's a pretty typical Osmane build. Yumi wall.
Right. Pretty good.
It's going to be a gold start as well, which is not really a problem for... Well, it is a problem for both players, but because it's a problem for both players, it's not a problem.
Yeah, it's pretty much useless for both, right? So it doesn't matter too much.
Mm-hmm.
What, like, would you make a market if you get a decent gold treasure as any of these thieves? I feel like it's an option, but I'm not sure if it's actually good or if it just slows you down.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's maybe okay as either of them, but you need to have a lot of gold treasures. Like, I almost feel like you need to buy 200 wood for it to be worth it.
Okay. Because the main issue with it is that on the one hand you have India with their faster wood gathering, so buying wood is not exactly super efficient, right? So and on the other hand you have Japan, who, well, they don't always want to do that, but apparently Osman is doing it. He's going for the consulate. So building the market first delays a little bit your consulate, and it's always a little bit tight to get your shrine up in time without being housed, right? So if you build a market, it makes it even more awkward. And then on top of that, you have the fact that the first market upgrade is not super impactful, like the food upgrade for these thieves. So,
yeah, only 5%, and then you can't really afford to get civil servants either because it's quite expensive. So
yeah, it costs food and wood. So like even if you get gold, which is kind of a useless resource in Age 1, so you're kind of happy to spend your gold on a food upgrade, right? But because it's gonna convert into food, which is useful for your age up. But like spending food or even wood, especially for India, is kind of awkward. But yeah, did we have here so far? We had Osman getting 120 XP treasure and shipping Heavenly Kami quite early, although it doesn't matter too much. You can't really get it. Like, it would be OP if you could get Heavenly Kami before building your first shrine, right? But that's pretty much impossible. Like, no matter what happens, like, I don't think you can get an XP treasure early enough to really get it before you build your shrine.
yeah, I don't really think so either. But
would be OP.
Yeah, basically though, this means he's going to be playing this pretty greedy. Not going to be sending 3 boats or anything. So his early game will be a little bit weaker than it could be otherwise. And there's going to be a forward villager coming from Snow, or 2 forward villagers actually, to build an anchor fort, I imagine, in the middle of the map here. So Osmane with this shrine dome will have to be a little bit careful that he doesn't get caught off guard by a rush or something. And Snow's actually not even aging super late or anything.
Where can he actually drop the Agra fort, though? This shrine is annoying. I think it's blocking one spot. And
yeah, this looks like it's gonna be rough. He's gonna place it down here, I guess, but it's pretty late now. He's been sitting on the food for a little while, so. And
it's such an awkward spot. Like it's just not as good as having it in the middle or something. But
yeah, there's so many extra obstacles in between the anchor fort and Japan's base right now that it basically like increases the rush distance by a fair bit now.
Yeah, although I guess you can go straight through that canyon here.
Yes.
But it's still not ideal. But
yeah, definitely.
So that delays Snow's age up by a little bit, and indeed gonna increase the rush distance. So basically, like, the pressure is probably gonna be a good maybe 15 seconds lower than it, or 20 than it would have been if you just dropped the Agra fort directly in an ideal spot. But yeah, it's not always easy on this map. And Osman didn't do it, but he could have even been maybe blocking the Agra with his 2 monks, and then maybe Snow would have had to go basically in base or like somewhere like here. But yeah, anyway, the Agra is going up. Boss is going to be aging up at pretty much the same time. Osman indeed dropping down some walls already. Not a big surprise. And does age up with 2 villagers on the Wonder as well. So not going to be...
Yeah, so this is...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. It's going to be affecting his boom a little bit. All these walls are probably going to cost him a couple of shrines. On top of leaving the vills on the Wonder is also going to cost him a couple of shrines.
Yeah,
But once he
exactly.
hits age 2, he'll get that 600 wood rolling. He'll be very safe from any early aggression. And with that 600 wood, he can drop down a whole bunch of shrines all at once, grab some market upgrades and stuff like that. So I don't think he'll be too unhappy about delaying his boom a little bit for a little bit of safety.
Right. I like him to finish that wall though, because it's really not a big gap to fill. It's probably like just 10 wood extra, and well, it just makes it so much better if your opponent can't just walk around. But I think he
Mhm.
didn't do it because he doesn't have full line of sight, so he can't really build the wall there. But he should probably finish it.
He
Um,
could also just like put his market there when he does get his 600 wood. Will
yeah,
he wall
that's
it off with
true.
the market and then save himself a little bit of wood that way?
Yeah, and the market actually has more HP anyway, and he does kind of do it, but it doesn't quite block the choke. But uh, I guess that's good enough. We'll see. Would trickle first for Snow there. Um, so not going too aggressive. He also does have a trading post and no market, however. But he gets a nice batch of 5 sepoys and gonna just put enough pressure to force Osmane to probably train units or do something about it, right? I mean, I guess he can just TC fire the sepoys, but still, it's just gonna disrupt a little bit Osman's build order. And like one TC shot in, then Snow walking back, so he lost half a sepoy, but there's so much walking time to task back all the villagers and the resources and stuff. So he
Right.
could
And
just keep doing that.
he could
Yeah.
also just heal up that sepoy with the monks, right?
Yeah, that's something very underrated actually. I'm not a big India player, but whenever I play India, and that doesn't happen too often, I do pull back the low HP units to heal them because it just makes a difference. Like after a fight, for example, when you get a second fight and all the units are like full HP instead of half HP or whatever, it just makes such a big difference. But he doesn't do that. He's gonna use them to siege, which is fine as well. And
And it looks like he's actually thinking about going for stagecoach as well, dropping down a second trading post. Osmane stole the trading post on the top side, maybe sort of anticipating the possibility of this coming out of Snow. So Snow will have to invest a little bit of time into sieging that before he can think about taking stagecoach for himself. But
right. And that's pretty good as well because he's got the Portuguese consulate. So this trading post costs only 170 wood. And of course, it can get sieged down. But if he's sieging down the trading post, it means he's not sieging down shrines. So it's not a big deal for Osman to be investing wood there. Uh, However, I would have maybe liked Snow to be pressuring a little bit with his Gorkas, just like forcing these villagers like he did at start of these resources. Because Gorkas aren't especially good at sieging, and they would be maybe more useful just denying some gathering time.
right, though that would be a little bit risky, maybe. There could be Yumi out, for example, that could easily dissuade 4 Gurkha from really applying a lot of pressure. No units though at the moment from Osmane, but of
Five
course he doesn't know
ashes.
that well.
Oh wait,
Actually, he
actually,
already has Ashes on the side here.
yeah, that's 10 ashes. He's got 5 in base and 5 on the side, so he's probably he's gonna he's gonna ship warships. He got line of sight for the water flag. So let's check Snow's deck. Snow does have a little bit of a water deck, but not too much. And I feel like maybe Osmane shouldn't ship his warships before he confirms that Snow is actually
Oh,
going
this
water,
hurting.
maybe. But like it's not very well herded, and he's gonna lose 2 villagers and lots of like just not gathering any food. So that is a good raid for Osman here, but gonna get caught by the sepoys, and the sepoys are definitely better than ashes when they come to fight each other. Like they have 10
Right.
more HP and fight and 1 more attack. So
Oh,
for
4
Solar,
are coming out as well. And
not too
the thing
good,
about
but
this is
yeah,
he's killing a couple villagers, but Ashigaru are not exactly the unit you want against India most of the time. Although a couple more villagers going to go down to the second batch of Ashes
yeah,
and going to force the Soars to chase. He could maybe get a little bit of a good trade on those. But back at home, he doesn't really have anything to defend right now, right? And Ashigaru, if they were at home, they wouldn't be the best defensive unit either, although he's killed 3 Soar now, so he's
Yeah,
actually gotten quite a lot of value out of these 10
it's
Ashies.
it's pretty good for Osmane at this point. I mean, it's like you want Yumis for sure, but in your base to defend, right? Behind the walls and stuff. But I feel like making 5 or 10 Ashes and running them on the map is probably okay. Also because Soas are just so bad at catching, at snaring Ashes, right? Like they are just not like Hussars or something. And all the Indian infantry is actually slower than Ashes. So I think you have a kind of an easy time as Japan to run Ashes against India. Not too many though, because you do need Yumis to defend your base. But yeah, he's adding a couple Yumis and aging up. I'm not sure if it's gonna be enough to hold this pressure, but we'll see.
Yeah, although Snow's sieging the consulate instead of the walls, which is going to take it's going to take much more time to kill that than it would be to take the walls and potentially get into the space.
Yeah, and it's
I mean,
also
he's
go
going to
ahead.
force him to rebuild the consulate later, but sorry, go on.
Yeah, I just meant like it's not a very important building right now. Like Osman already got most of the value out of it. Like he's got the alliance. Even if you siege it down, there's still actually the alliance working, right? Like you still get the wood discount. And I guess to some extent, like he's gonna soon have 400 exports. So if he was to just lose his consulate now, it could be annoying because he wants to maybe get the best heroes soon. But not too big of a deal for Osman, right? If he can get away with edging up, just losing his consulate, it's not gonna be a big problem for him. Now he can probably just ship the flaming arrows and keep them behind that second layer of walls or even Yumi's, I don't know, like, but range
Yeah,
range
let's take
stuff.
a look at what he's sending. He's actually sending 8 Ashies right now, so maybe just a little bit afraid of
Oh yeah,
the cavalry mass here. And he does have enough Yumis sort of to deal with the Gurkha right now, so it's probably fine to be doing that. And it will also give
yeah.
him a little bit of protection for maybe a flaming arrow shipment after that.
But Eric is actually not going to be pushing in. He just wanted to pressure a little bit. Well, of course, he's getting value out of this push because he's getting the consulate down, but it's also the fact that now Osman is shipping units, right? Like if India was totally passive, maybe Osman would have gone for something else like 7 villagers or 1,000 wood or whatever. But now that he got pressured, he's just reacting with 8 ashes, and these ashes are not going to be too useful. I mean, it's still fine, of course, but it's better than letting Osman get away with shipping something greedy. And so he's just pulling back, sieging down shrines, and edging up himself. And he does have 3 TP stagecoach, which means that he's pretty much matching the Japanese eco at this point.
Yeah, and he's also splitting the Ashi off from his base at the moment. Looks like he might get intercepted by Gurkha. The disciplined upgrade does come in, and actually the Gurkha just walking right in there, not expecting him to be there. And this is going to be a really nice trade for Osmane.
Oh yeah, and Ash is being faster. They are gonna be able to not let these units escape, although he does. Maybe not too confident.
Yeah, he doesn't know that Snow is aging at the moment.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, I noticed that. That's a nice raid there. I mean, raid, if you see what I mean. Like, how many fishing boats did he kill? At least 3.
He's killed 5, and probably going to find these other 3 as well.
Wait, why? Yeah, so because Usman shipped 5 boats. So he shipped 5 and got 3 from the consulate, and didn't ship 3 in age 1 since he did the Kami. So yeah, that's like 5 villagers killed. It does hurt Snow a little bit because it's not an H3 shipment. Like he could be shipping some like an extra H3 shipment now, but he's killing 8 fishing boats, which is essentially 8 Japanese villagers, or maybe 7 because they are not upgraded by the market.
Right, and he could even start sieging some of the stuff on the coastline here. Like this stable could easily go down. The market could go down. There's some shrines along the coast as well that these caravels could potentially siege if they scout for it. But it looks like he's just going to double check that he's killed all of the fishing boats, and maybe then he'll think about looking for things to siege on the coast.
Man, could he even just get that wonder down? I'm pretty sure he's in range of it. Like he's definitely in range of it, and I don't think the town center is in range of the water. So he could even. I mean, I don't think he would get it down just because if that happens, you just bring your mass of Yumis and you scare the caravels away. But it could be pretty annoying for Osman and or even the stable. But you know what I mean. Like getting the golden pavilion with 2 caravels would be just so huge.
Yeah, it probably is in range. You're right.
Yeah.
So that is a little bit of a risk for Osmane. The caravels are moving down along the coastline now, maybe going to look for buildings to siege. We'll see if they spot that.
Yeah, although
But,
really
2 orchards coming for Japan now.
Yumi's kind of beat caravels when you have a big mass of them. So he couldn't. I don't think he could get it down, but he could force Osman to stay in base and maybe ship the flaming arrows just to defend his wonder or something like that. So it could be really annoying. So yeah, meanwhile, Snow just sitting down more shrines. He does need to upgrade his stuff. Like, he has only H2 units there. At least upgrade his Gorkhas, I think. And what did he ship? He shipped 8 Gorkhas. Okay. Japan had to ship. Japan actually went for colonial militia, so that push where where Snow sieged down the consulate really paid off, because KINGofOsmane kind of overreacted there with colonial militia, and it's just a useless card at the moment.
Yeah, you're right. We didn't see that at the time, but that is potentially like 1,000 resource shipment that he could have had instead. Like we see now, he just had to ship orchards. Imagine if he'd had time to send flaming arrows before sending those orchards. He could have potentially pushed out before Snow finished aging, maybe got the Agra fort down, got a couple of these trading posts or something. So yeah, that's actually quite a big win for Snow, and these Yumi archers being a little bit out of position.
Yeah. I guess one way to make it pay off for Osmane would be to add at least a second town center, but like a bit more forward with the colonial militia. But yeah, anyway, this Yumi is getting caught here, and yeah, Osmane needs to move in to shield them, and he does it now, but he needs to retreat behind the wall, maybe make an extra gate here and just go in. Yeah, that's what he's doing. And gonna be kiting the cav, and well, I don't know, like that was definitely a good trade for Snow, but Osmane did kill a couple calves, so it's not too bad. But Osmane really needs more Yumis.
Yeah, I mean, he's even invested in Yumi upgrade at this point, and with the massive Gurkha here, he just can't really deal with it even with that upgrade just yet.
Although now I think he's okay, just because Yumis are just stronger, and they do have like the way of the bow. Because and these Gorkhas are not upgraded, and Snow is like, wait, what? My Gorkhas? I think that's what he means.
Yeah, if they were disciplined here, that would be huge.
Yeah,
but this is going to be a good trade for Osmane as a result.
I felt like there was the upgrade at some point for the Gorkhas. I mean, I felt like he was researching it, but maybe he cancelled it or something like that. It's kind of strange.
Yeah, it looks like he only got disciplined Soar, actually.
Yeah, but I don't think he would... I mean, it's not even the same building, right? So I don't think he would make that mistake too. I don't know what happened anyway. I don't think it's a bug. It would be really unfortunate if he actually had to upgrade them twice because it bugged or something, but I've never seen that happen, so I don't think that's the case. He probably just forgot about it.
He either tried to upgrade them and didn't have the resources to, or maybe he accidentally canceled it or something, and a little bit of a raid here, getting 1 Vil kill. Gonna spot the Urmi as well.
Yeah, pretty good, right? I mean, at this point, I feel like he could have maybe just killed them, killed the Nagi with the villagers, because he's not only revealing the Yumi. I can't talk. He's not only revealing the Urumis, but also well, they are just on top now and just gonna have to walk even more to come to the fight if they do have to fight. So
goodbye clubs.
Oh yeah, that's unfortunate. These clubs could have gone to siege down that trading post maybe or something.
Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed that Snow is not being more active with his caravels as well. Like, I don't think he's even checked the coastline to see what he could possibly siege.
Yeah, and it's kind of a classic on that map. I even played a game myself earlier against Luktam, and I just had my caravel sieging down his market in his base. I mean, it's not a huge value out of it, but it's just better than just like doing nothing with them. He's not even fishing, although it doesn't matter too much. But like, yeah, I feel like you should, like, he knows there's a bunch of shrines at least next to the shore. I mean, not a bunch, but there's like at least 2 here and check the base. Yeah, right.
This army positioning from Osmane, though, is a little bit risky. The Nagis actually might be getting into a really good spot here. There's not a lot of anti-cav. They could almost just fight that, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he's just like, yeah, that's too good to be true. There has to be something, like, there has to be a cav behind. And
but if we're looking at the military unit tab, those 5 Zambraks are literally all of his anti-cav right now. So this is Probably a little bit scary for Snow now that he's seen like 30 Nagis. He's like, oh no, I probably should stay back for a bit while I get these anti-cavalry units out.
To be honest, at that point, this would have been literally GG if Osmane took that fight, right? He would have just cleaned up everything using only even half of his army. It would have been just, I think, GG. But yeah, we don't see that happening. So at the moment, India is ahead in eco because he has more, like he has a second ton center and he has a stagecoach. But it's also the point where Japanese units are gonna get out of control. Like they're just gonna get really strong soon. They already have the golden pavilion and stuff. Like the Yumis are super strong already. If he can get he does get the Nagi HP, and they are just gonna. Oh well, now there's lots of Demburaks though. I don't know how this fight is gonna go. I think it's gonna be down to who micros it better, but it's definitely looking a bit scary for India there. He needs to bring his Nagis forward though.
Well, the Nagis are busy dealing with the Urumi, which is fine at the moment. At the end of the day, it looks like he's going to clean up the Nagis, but he'll be at a disadvantage in terms of the Gurkha versus Yumi fight. Some Sepoy popping out as well.
I think at this point...
But gonna be forced to retreat here. Another big batch of Nagis coming behind this as well.
7 Nagis with that HP, like 450 HP is just so much. And I think that's a cleanup. I mean, he's just at least going to kill the Gurkhas here. And if he could maybe snipe the Menzabda Zemburaks, this one is really easy to spot, I think, compared to the other ones. So you can really, like, just shoot it down. But it doesn't do that. Regardless.
And behind this as well, like, Snow's even started investing in rice paddies a little bit. So that Japanese bonus, sort of, where you don't really... you can sort of outlast most people on the map is sort of starting to pay off at this point as well. An 8 Ashy shipment coming behind this just to make sure that he's not going to die to any random big cav switch. And I think he's looking pretty solid at this point.
Yeah, but he's totally out of food. Like maybe that I don't see 8 Ashes being too relevant at this point. I mean, of course it's nice, it's a batch of units, but like that, do they really matter that much? I mean, I feel like he should have shipped the cherry orchards because it's just totally out of food.
Yeah, he definitely should have, although he'll have a shipment ready in a moment. So I suppose there will be a little bit of time here where if Snow can hold, he might be able to stabilize, but the Nagis are going to be getting onto the Vils. There's no units to really stop the Ashy and Yumi from doing damage here either.
Yeah, so I guess in a way the 8 Ashes are going to pay off. Even if he can't produce any more units, he's going to have a bit more momentum right now. But Mahout's getting really good swings on these Yumis, but they're just gonna die. They're buying time though for the villagers to go in the TC. Still, lots of villagers died there, and oh man, more Gurkhas just getting caught here, and that's a right-click TC situation. And 15 villagers in that town center plus idling all the rice paddies and stuff. I don't see Snow ending up being a good position at the end of this.
Yeah, certainly it doesn't seem like it. And now the cherry orchards are out too, so that's another 10,000 food that Japan has to gather freely, while Snow's built up in his base using villagers invested into rice paddies and fishing boats, etc. And yeah, I think at this point, it's probably safe to say that Osmane is likely going to be off to a quick 1-0 start in this series.
Yeah.
Or I say quick, but it's actually quite a long game.
Damn it, man. I bet on 3-0 for Snow.
I knew this would happen, so 3-1 for me. 3-1 and 3-2. Although I'm thinking... I'm not sure how the rest of the series will go, but this is Osmane's best Civ, right? And he's getting it out of the way early.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think Snow will be a lot more comfortable in other matchups later on in the series, so I don't even know if he'll be too upset about losing this game.
And even India is not like really a Snow Civ too much, right? Like he still has France, Germany, and Brits, which are his 3 main Civs, I believe. And these are going to be much scarier than his India, probably. Especially when, like you said, Osmane can't go Japan anymore. But yeah, well, quite a convincing lead here for Osmane, cleaning up more of these units on top here. And Snow just switching to Sepoy now. I guess he feels like there's just too many Nagis and his Gorkas would just die, and he can't really go Zemburak because they are just totally useless against Yumis and Ashes. So he kind of has to go Sepoy at this point, I guess.
Yeah, he can't really mass enough of both Gurkha and Zam to really make a dent in this army, I suppose.
Yeah.
He's going to be going to the top side. He knows that the villagers were on this gold mine earlier. He sees them on that by that trading post now. So if he gets a big raid here, it could be a good opportunity for him. However, his own villagers are now under threat on the south side of the map. A couple of Howdas popping out as well to maybe help defend against the Nagi, but he has to be careful not to get caught by the infantry, and the villagers are just going to be going down.
Yeah, that is. Oh, yeah, that's a nice raid for Snow, but still quite far from evening up the eco. Although with the stagecoach, I guess it's rather close. But the eco doesn't really matter at this point. It's just that it feels like Japan has a really unkillable army at this point. And
Yeah, and another upgrade card coming in as well behind this.
Right, yeah, and actually I didn't see, but he got the Golden Pavilion upgrade, so he has extra attack and HP on his Ashes, and that's just like, yeah, 36 attack Musketeer in H3, you know, and even Sepoys are really strong, but they have only 30 attack, and Ashes have like Ashes at this point have more HP, more attack, and more speed than Sepoys, so that's gonna be very tough for Snow.
And we have to remember, too, that even though he did kill a lot of vills on the top of the map, that means his army can't be around to defend this town center. And there's 28 villagers in this town center, so this is likely going to be GG. Yeah. There's no warships or anything he can run to really save these villagers, and they're all going to die here before the Indian army comes. I mean, he's going to get here just at the end of it, but I don't think he'll be able to clean up the army, much less save the villagers.
Now he's gonna lose everything here and call the GG indeed. And he did try to go for some water. I don't know if we talked about that, but it's just too late. Yeah, it's like I said. The problem is that Snow has just no way to kill the Japanese army. So even adding fishing boats doesn't matter at all. Like it's just yeah.
Yeah, he added those before he even started losing. Really. Before that first fight in the middle of the map that sort of resulted in that downward spiral. He had a few fishing boats before then. Not too many, but enough. And yeah, anyway, Osmane going to be up to a quick 1-0 lead.
Right. And they do have very close resources because they both boomed quite hard, with one with a stagecoach, the other with the shrines. And yeah, just like you gotta really not miss your window as India in this matchup. I feel like if you don't do too much damage early on, then you just can't really beat Japan army at some point. And it's kind of what happened in that game. There was a point where India was ahead, but he did not take his Gorkas and maybe did a couple of the mistakes and wasn't really able to push in the Japanese base. And then it's just Japan being Japan in late game. And yeah.
Yep. India can keep up with the economy, but the army from Japan just has much more upgrades available to them. So the longer the game goes, the worse it's going to get for you. And India already doesn't really have a stellar army in the late game.
Yeah.
And yeah, as you said, he kind of missed his window with those Gurkha. So.
And it's really like if you lose one fight to Japan and they have still a big mass of units, then they can really afford to ship an upgrade. Because if you keep trading with Japan and just keep their unit count low, they kind of have to keep spamming unit shipments to keep up with your mass. But if you just like lose a fight, then they just have so much fun remassing like crazy and shipping upgrade on top of it, and then you're just like so dead. So you really have to keep Japan in like under pressure all the time and not let them get out of control. So yeah, good game here. Quick win for Osmane. And I think it's safe to say that Snow is the favorite of this series. So that's a good start for Osmane here for sure.
Yep, definitely. He's got to be feeling happy about that. We're going to be moving to the second game here. He's going to have to pick his civ first. And I'm not quite sure what the map is, but without Japan, I'm not sure what Osmane would consider his second best civ. Do you know?
He's comfortable with India for sure, And I know that on Vanilla, well, that's a few years ago, but he used to like mostly play France and Otto. And I'm not sure how much of these civs he still can play, but it used to be his main civs. But yeah, definitely India is one of the civs he would pick. But I think Osman is still comfortable playing most civilizations. Not as well as his Japan, but he can play quite a few civs, I think.
Okay.
I asked in the chat if the sound is fine, and then I just didn't read the answer, and now it's gone. So I'm gonna have to ask again and make sure I do check this time. Um, Sun fucked my brain. uh, Sound is okay. Okay, good. Well, so yeah, now Osman being up 1-0, he's gonna have to be peaking first and can't beat Japan anymore. Japan being for sure a reasonable peak on Deccan, so he's gonna have to find something else. And it could be India, but I'm not too sure about that.
What are the odds you think he picks India and Snow responds with Japan?
Uh, I don't feel like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Snow would just go Brits if Osman goes India because they played that matchup so many times in the last Monosif tournament, and well, Snow won every game I think, or maybe 3-1 or something like that.
Oh,
So
did
yeah,
they play in the Monosiv tournament?
yeah, they played. Well, Snow was Brits and Osman was India, and they just had to play against each other. So they played this matchup a bunch of times, obviously, and Snow came out on top quite easily. So I'm not sure how comfortable Osman would be going India there. It's quite a good India map, but it's also a very good British map. So I don't know. We'll see though.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll have to see what he decides to pick. I mean, it's me, so I don't play the same civs as Osman, but on Deccan, there's lots of viable civs, but if I have to be picking first, I would just stick to France or Germany if I can, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, well, it's really hard to counterpick them, and they do quite well on Deccan with the early trading post. So we'll see what he does. I do feel like Brits are super strong on this map, though.
Yeah, they definitely are. They can drop. Well, they just have a lot of options for what they could do with the wood crates. They can go for a market and like 3 manors, or a trading post, a couple manors, or trading post, a market, and a manor, or whatever. It
Yeah,
just gives them a lot of options with that early game, and all of those options are going to help their economy significantly very early on.
yeah, it's just so flexible. It's very nice, and you still age up really early. So yeah, gonna be waiting for Osman to pick. I'll be right back in 1 minute.
Sure.
So what do we have now? Brit. Okay. So yeah, that is definitely a solid pick. Then again, Brit's being pretty much Snow's best sieve, or one of his top sieves at least. He's pretty comfortable mirroring, and indeed he's just picking Brit himself. So
Yeah, I think this is one of his favorite and best matchups as well. I've seen him play this matchup a lot in almost every series he plays, so he'll definitely be comfortable with this. But he plays he plays like similar to what the British mirror meta is, but he goes for a lot more musketeer raids than a lot of other players. So that'll have to be something that Osmane watches out for. I don't know how effective it will be with the map having so many choke points that Osmane could potentially just easily drop manners for line of sight in, but we'll see.
yeah, at the same time, like there's consistent food on Deccan. You always get hunts, but there's not too much either, right? It's you have to herd really well, and you quickly like get on these a bit more side locations, and I guess you could get raided there. Anyway, let's introduce the players. We didn't do that in game one, but oh well. We have here on top of the map Osmane, or should I say KINGofOsmane, up 1-0 in the series, playing as the British in the color green, while on the opposite side of the map, it's Snow, also known as Eric or König Eric, playing Brits as well in the color blue. And we do have a first variation. Or is Osman gonna go for a TP there? Yeah, he might. But Snow,
Yeah, it looks like he probably will.
Snow took the better trading post though. That's the one where you get the XP, I think. Although
Right.
he missed it actually.
Yeah, he did. And I mean, Osmane maybe didn't take the best path to get that trading post, but he did get a couple of yaks as a result.
And luckily enough, he does find a 100-foot treasure just next to it, which is definitely gonna be nice. It's not like you can expect to find that, but in this situation, it was actually probably better going for that left trading post just because you get the treasure. But yeah, you can't really know that beforehand, obviously. But it's gonna be really nice for him. Snow has much more food than Osman. How does?
Yeah, I was.
Did he buy food?
Well, Osmane has one extra Vil in queue as well. But no, I was watching the Vil micro a little bit, and Osmane sort of forgot about his Vils on the crates for a long time, so while Snow was just gathering with 3 Vils the entire time.
Yeah.
And it's quite a big difference, actually, if you don't watch your Vils on this map, because they'll go for their food crates, and then all of them will finish the food crates, and then all of them walk all the way to the other side of the town center where there's another food crate that one Vil's already gathering. And they'll get there, that Vil will finish gathering, then they'll all split among the wood crates, and it's just a disaster if you're not watching it. So unfortunately, Osmane just wasn't paying attention there, so he lost quite a few villager seconds actually.
Yeah,
but
well,
both players still going to age at the same time.
It looks like he lost 70 food because they had the exact same food count, and Snow got a 30-foot treasure while Osman got a 100-foot treasure, and yet they had the same food. So yeah, Snow just got an extra 70 food by just microing his crates, and you do have to split your villagers well on Deccan, especially if you want to get your market up as fast as possible and your hunt dogs and stuff. You really have to split on wood and coin and food and just micro all that properly. But yeah, at the end of the day, they do age at the same time. Snow probably just a little bit ahead because he got that 50 wood, and I don't know. I guess it's kind of close. But
yeah, well, we can already see in the manor population that he's already got an extra manor. Actually, wait, did he send?
He's got Virginia Company on the way.
Yeah, but why did he build another manor then?
I think it's because it just feels bad to just stack so much wood. Usually what I do, I don't know how good it is, but I just go for 2 trading posts in age 1. Usually if you find a small coin or wood treasure, you barely have to mine or chop anything. You can get 2 TPs, your market, hunt dogs, and 1 manor. And then with the second TP, like here, he would get his shipment now, and he would have Virginia Company much earlier, and he would not stack so much wood. And I personally think it's better than just going for 1 TP, because the problem of 1 TP on Deccan is that you age up so early because of these extra food crates that it's actually not enough with 1 TP to do 3 villagers and Virginia Company and still have a shipment. And you do have to delay your manos.
Going for that also means you could potentially lose out on some yaks or some treasures. So I can see how that would be good still, but there is a little bit of a trade-off still.
Of course, but at least build otherwise it feels just smoother, just regarding the shipments and the timing at which you get Virginia Company with 2 TPs. You get it right at the start of transition instead of having to wait so much like Snow did. But yeah, I do get the trade-off with the treasures and the yaks, of course.
Yeah, but let's talk a little bit about what's going on right now. There is a forward base for Osmane, whereas Snow has not gone for a forward base, probably because of that Virginia Company shipment. But this is something that Snow sort of tends to do a lot in British mirrors, where he'll base at home because it's easier to defend while he goes for musketeer raids later on. And again, that's something that Osmane's going to have to watch out for. We see that he placed a little wall segment here so he can see if musketeers try to path through there. So he's kind of aware that this is something that Snow likes to do. And even pathing his musketeers straight up to the right side of the map, probably is going to be watching for raids.
Yeah.
And maybe looking for random forward bases and stuff like that in this location.
So what's the plan here, basically? Like, usually in the British mirror, boss players would just go front base, because if you don't, then the players that has a front base can just mirror everything the other player does and just be ahead because he has map control, basically. But here, Snow is just trying to go a bit more greedy with Virginia Company and raid, maybe he will, just to try to get an advantage and be able to anyway break the front base by just ending up having more units, just because his opponent has less eco. But we'll see if Osman can just contain, because like in maybe 5 minutes or something, or 6 minutes, Snow will have to move out a little bit for extra hunts. Although he does have a bunch of animals in his base. I didn't see these ones here, but that's really a lot of food. But yeah, will Osman be able to contain and just like hold his front base, or will Snow be able to just break that? He might just go H3 though. I wouldn't be surprised to see Snow going for some kind of semi-FF build. I am surprised, however, that his mana pop is quite low for someone who sent Virginia Company. He has only 2 extra manas compared to Osman, but he did invest in Virginia Company.
Well, you have to remember too, you're aging a little bit faster, so you have a little bit less villagers early on than you normally would when you build that trading post instead of more manors. And then you also, well, most of your most of your mana population comes off of that 700 wood shipment anyway. So not super surprising. Although you have to remember he's still got more villagers than Osmane, despite not having sent 600 wood yet.
Yeah, sure. But my point is that I mean, I didn't say it, but what I meant is that Snow is kind of investing more into military than you would maybe expect. But let's talk about this after. He's pushing now, but I don't think Snow can make this happen. Like, there's a tower, potential batches of units popping, and he just has less musketeers in the fight. He has more on the way, but right now he can't really make that happen.
Yeah, but while this fight's going on, he split off 3 musketeers. He's going to be forcing some villagers to at least idle.
Good reaction time, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Osman seeing it in time. And is he gonna... Well, he's gonna lose the villager there.
Oh no. He tried to go for the treasure, but he lost his explorer, and then also a musketeer. But a villager would pick it up, should be alright.
Yeah, and 300 wood is still like more than 2 villagers, right? If you make manas out of it, so
yeah,
it's quite nice.
And this is very Eric-esque British mirror gameplay, splitting off musketeer raids to both sides, forcing Minutemen reactions, forcing the army to pull back to defend that. Going to be just buying lots of time for himself to maybe continue booming a little bit, or to mass up, and maybe just force his opponent to make some mistakes. But the food is starting to run out at home a little bit.
And this might get caught here. I don't know how Osman expected that, but that's a good catch.
He saw it walking through here actually with the wall segment.
All right, yeah, that's good then. But yeah, I mean, it does feel to me like Osman is maybe slightly ahead just because he has still map control and he didn't suffer too much from these raids and stuff. And I don't know, but at the same time, and he does have one more musketeer upgrade, but at the same time, it feels like Snow might be looking for an age up. Although maybe now that he sees the musketeers coming in, he might spend it into more musketeers himself. He was stacking a bit of food, but I think he's gonna spend it now because it just feels risky to age just when your opponent is pushing you.
Yeah, and he just popped another batch of 10 musketeers, so he's definitely been forced to stage 2 a little bit longer by this push. Osman could just fight this. He does have the better upgrades, although there's a really nice concave and Miniman coming behind this for Eric. But only a handful of reinforcements coming from Osman. Actually, I don't know if he can fight this anymore.
Well, Osman is ahead for sure. If you look at the military population, he has more and they have an extra card. And also his Explorer is fighting. But, yeah, I don't know what happens, to be honest. I guess he just had a worse unit positioning there. But I don't know, it's still close. Like, he can, yeah, I think he can take that. The 700 gold here just doesn't pay off for Snow. He's still stacking most of it and just had one less upgrade, so... Sorry. So just a very good timing here for Osman to push, but regardless, it looks like Snow is going to be kind of okay there. With 700 food, though, I'm not sure I like that. I mean, I feel like the Musketeer HP is long overdue at this point.
Yeah, but he does have the superior mass now. He did lose a couple villagers back at home to the 10 musketeers that were raiding. But with this mass, he might be able to push in here a little bit. And with the hunts really running out for Snow, he snuck a couple of villagers off to both sides. But if they get spotted, this could be really dangerous.
It's actually more than a couple of vills. Osman lost 8 vills overall this game, and he's quite behind. And these villagers are super exposed. I'm not sure why he's hunting on the side there, not nearby, like close to his front base somewhere here, because that would be safer, I think. But they might not get spotted, in fact. That's interesting. Actually, both players have vills very far out on the map. But isn't Snow maybe overmaking a bit the raids? Like, that's a lot of musks.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got a lot less musketeers at home with less upgrades. And Osmane, all he needs to do is win the fight here, although his units are kind of doing a little bit of a dance instead of fighting, and he's going to be forced to retreat, actually.
This does look good for Snow. Look at the score now. He's actually resigned. Yeah, he recognizes that if he can't make something happen in the base right now, he's like so far behind in eco. Like he's 14 vills down just because of these raids, and that's probably GG. Yeah.
Yeah, just lost too many villagers and never spotted that Eric's own villagers were just as exposed.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't have it in his deck.
Look at this deck. It's such a bad Brit Mirror deck. It's definitely not what he wanted to do. Like, he got post-cav upgrades in there, and you never make cav, or almost never in the British Mirror, so... yeah, that's not ideal, for sure. So yeah, but anyway, he did pull it off. It's 1-1 now.
Yep, and I don't think that's too surprising in that matchup, just because Snow has played that matchup so much and he's so comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And if you aren't reacting to the musketeer raids appropriately, then you kind of end up with that situation where you're just randomly down 10 vills. So
yeah, it was pretty close until a point, like until maybe 8 or 9 minutes. You can see it in the resources graph. Like, it was really close, military and eco-wise. Osman lost maybe 1 villager, and he had to call Minutemen, but he did kill some musketeers as well, so it was okay. And he held the push at his front base. But then at some point, like, yeah, at 8 or 9 minutes, they traded their units, but at the same time, Osman just got raided quite badly and ended up being 3k or almost, well, a bit more than 2k resources behind compared to Snow, just because of the idle time and the raids, while also losing his army in Snow's base now. So yeah, that's pretty much GG. And that makes it 1-1. So yeah, at least Brits is out of the way now, and that's really one of Snow's strongest picks. And Osman is gonna be at least quite happy with that.
Yeah, definitely should be. Next map is going to be New England, so we could start seeing some different stuff.
Yeah, they need to kick Diaruga though, that I can get in.
Yeah, it looks like he thought it was a team game or something.
Right. A team game on UIX Deccan. I mean, yeah, why not, I guess, but anyway, what is next map? I did have it open somewhere.
New England.
It's New England, yeah. And that's nice. That's just nice. Nice to watch, to be honest.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that it really suits many of Snow's civs, to be honest.
Nope.
With all the low gold, especially in your own base.
Yeah, what could he pick there? I mean, I don't know, man. Like I don't know what he can play outside of the standard France, Germany, Brits. He could still play France or Germany. I mean, they're decent on most TP maps anyway, and he does go for France, yeah. And it's definitely an okay pick, but it's not exactly adapting too much to the map and not gonna be especially overpowered on that map, I think. And
yeah, for sure.
sorry, 1 second. Yeah, sorry for that. France, yeah. Well, that's okay, but we'll see what Osman can pick to face that. A classic pick being, of course, Otto on this map, but then again, Otto doesn't do too well against France overall. I don't know on this map who. I guess it's Otto favored on this map just because of the TP line and the pawns and A-bus and stuff. We'll have to see. What would you pick against France here?
I don't know. Most of my civs are not the best on New England either.
Okay, then what
probably
pick would you
for,
say
I'd probably go for maybe. I think Spain would be pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's true as well. Spain is also like the warship shipping warships just feels good as Spain, right? Because your unit shipments are not too great, and just
exactly
spending a shipment on warships is just cheaper for you than for the other civs, and you can afford some stuff like shipping to caravels in transition, or even just going for the frigate in H3. And having this early to far cadets, having the possibility of going for ATP as well, it just makes it quite a solid pick.
Yeah, and also aging up with the tower to lock down one of those pawns. Potentially even using Spanish gold later on to try and mitigate the fact that there's not a lot of gold mines on this map. Spain just has a lot of really solid options overall.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see.
Could also go for Portugal. I don't know how much Spain plays port, but
yeah, you can control the pawns of the water with the port on center for sure, and we can also potentially wall up a bit. It's quite easy. And there's a water, of course, the water boom. But we'll see. I don't think I remember seeing Osman ever play ports, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen him play them either. But I haven't really seen Osmane play all that much in general in the last year or so, probably. But he does actually have a level 131 home city, so it's a possibility.
Yeah, actually he does.
Okay, looks like
Kind
it's going to
of
be autos, though.
kind of weird because his auto is level 100 basically, and it's a big save of Osman. So, but yeah, anyway, um, auto indeed. So that's gonna be game 3 out of this best of 5 in the round of 16 between Snow and KINGofOsmane. Tied up 1-1 at the moment, and I hope we do see some A-bus plus warship unit composition in this game, because that's always nice to see.
Yeah, definitely a possibility. And the stagecoach line going to be really nice for Ottoman as well. But I don't know. I've never really seen Osmane play auto. Does he prefer to play colonial, or does he like to do the FF sometimes, or do you know?
Sorry, come again.
I was just asking if you know what type of play style Osmane is most comfortable with auto. Does he prefer like the fast fortress or
It's been a while.
colonial play?
It's been a while. I've played Osman Otto, so I'm not sure. I know on vanilla he was maybe going more for colonial stuff, but then, well, on vanilla, I mean, with low resources, it's kind of interesting to be aggressive in colonial. But I'm not sure. We'll see. But then on this map and the stagecoach, I think it's really a big incentive for colonial play,
Yeah.
just because you can control the pawns with Abus guns and control the stagecoach as well. While going
Right.
FF could give time to France. You
Before we
wanna
talk about
rehost?
this anymore, yeah, there's a missing mine on Osmane's side.
Yeah, there's a missing mine. Yeah, I guess that's worth a rehost, right?
There's also no island, randomly.
Oh, yeah, I don't think that matters too much, but the mine could be a
Well,
problem.
there's a gold mine on the island, so
Yeah, Osman is gonna be pretty happy with it. Like he said, meh, 200 would start.
yeah. That's why I was pretty sad about having to offer the rehost there, but it looks like not the greatest spawn in the world. I'm pretty sure that island is supposed to spawn every single time. That's really
Yeah,
weird.
it is. It is. But it does bug sometimes, I think.
There's a hang on. I don't think it's been added to ESOC patch yet, but there was a fixed version of New England with more consistent mine spawns that Garja made days ago. Let me see if I can find that maybe.
With the UI as well.
Maybe not. Which might be why it's not an EP yet. Oh, well, it says UIX. We can try it maybe.
You have it.
I have it, yeah.
Up to you, yeah. Or we can just spawn it again. It's really up to you.
Yeah, let's just spawn it again. If it's bad, then we'll try that one.
If it doesn't work, then we'll just move on to the other version. And yeah, so we are moving in this game 3 again.
Snow's missing a mine now.
Yeah. Yeah, but that, I mean, is he really missing a mine? Like, that mine is not really on Osman's side. I mean, it's pretty much in the middle to me.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Like, they both have 2 mines on their side, and their boss are rather, like, kind of equally far from their TCs. If you see what I mean. Like, it's...
Yeah. I see what you're saying, for sure.
I don't know if we should rehost that. It's definitely... there should be more gold on the map, but it's not unfair to me. And the hunts are okay. So
yeah, hunts look fine.
Guess we're good.
Yeah, we can maybe go with this. We might not get a better spot anyway.
Yeah, I think that's okay. It's definitely fair. It's really low gold though, but yeah, that's just
New England.
Yep. All right. So we're good to go here in this game 3, guys, and that's again Osman against Snow, and we have 1-1 now. Snow on the top right on the map in the color green, playing as France, and Osman being Otto on the bottom of the map. And the best thing about that is that we still have a 200 wood start, so it's really fair now.
Yep. Thankfully, the rehost didn't change that.
Right.
But Native Scout going to go over to Otto as well, which is going to be really nice here.
Yeah, France barely getting the upper hand because they're gonna have the same units, but just France able to get some shots in. So if they come to fight, France is already a little bit ahead, but it's for sure very nice for Otto to get that native scout. And we do have a donation, no, a subscription from How to Talk, please. Thank you very much for subscribing. This sound is too loud. I need to find how to fix it, but not now. And one thing I wanted to say though, why would you not pick the native scout before building the TP? Because it's New England, you get like 40 XP per pass, so even if you miss it, it's not too big of a deal, and you're probably not gonna miss it. Oh, he crackshot.
Because he crackshotted one of the black bears, yeah.
Because it would have been good, right? You just get so much extra scouting from picking that scout before building a TP instead of after. But yeah, it does make sense if he crackshot one of these bears. Gonna pick up the food before the villager, which I kind of like because it's gonna be more relevant right now. It's gonna help him age up faster, and then he can go for the villager later. Although he will also have to build training posts. So, but yeah, definitely a solid start for Otto here.
Yep, for sure. But there's going to be a Tomahawk going over to Snow, which is going to help him maybe deny some trading posts later on.
Oh, for sure.
Later on being in the next 30 seconds to a minute or so.
Yeah.
So that's something to watch out for sure. Could also maybe deny a bit of a forward base, as there are forward villagers coming down here for the Ottoman Osmane.
And there's even a second Tomahawk that he might be picking up at some point.
Yeah, and he's going super far forward here.
Yeah.
Gonna get spotted by the native scout. Tomahawk's gonna be moving straight over to that location. And I don't think he's gonna be able to forward base with that.
Knowing Snow though, he might not use his net against the Veals. I'm not sure. I remember a Tony game where he didn't do it against Sompu, but maybe he will now, and that would be just so. Yeah, rip one villager.
Yeah, one Vil gonna go down. Although, I mean, to be fair, Osmane can just replace it with that treasure later.
Yeah, that would be okay then, but
losing this Vil is going to guarantee that he gets that second trading post up at least, and he'll know that he can't quite go for the third one yet until he has military units out. So, not the end of the world for him, but losing the forward base location is definitely going to hurt.
It's really bad still for Otto, and I feel like you're going to keep an eye on the chat. I mean, the treasures log, you know, like just see what your opponent picked, because if he saw that there was this native treasure, he could have maybe gone for a rack somewhere like here, which then means you can always back up one of your Vils to the TC and not lose it at least.
Or wait a little bit longer before sending some forward villagers out so they don't get scouted right away. Maybe Snow decides to do something else with that Tomahawk. But how do you think he adapts to this now? Do you think he's still going to go for like 700 wood first, or maybe he goes for a fast fortress instead?
No, it looks to me like he's going to still play Colonial. Look, he's dropping another trading post, and yeah, I saw that. And yeah, he's dropping another trading post and a racks, so he's definitely going to need some wood. I mean, it's not that he needs the wood, it's more like he would not be able to age up anyway because he spent too much, like he gathered wood for a second TP and stuff. So he's just going to play Colonial here, at least for a while. And yeah, we do have that wall. Could even use that wall here to just block, you know what I mean? But you can build on it if you're smart. If Snow could just build a pillar and then delete it, and it just makes it deeper here. So yeah. He's just going to drop a real wall. Not deleting pillars, though, which is kind of expensive. But I guess he knows, like, Snow is going to raid him. And by blocking all the left side, it means the only way to raid is here. And that's where Osman is going to have his units most of the time. So he's not going to be raiding too much.
Yep, just get to focus on one attack path instead of two attack paths. So the wall is definitely going to be nice for him. It does cost him a lot of villager seconds with all this wood and this vill being idled for a very long time.
But it's so
probably,
comfortable. Yeah,
it's going to make him feel a lot safer for sure.
Especially against
and Snow is a very raid heavy player.
Yeah, right. It does make a lot of sense. And even though he's not starting stable, it's not that he's a kind of player who would raid with musketeers anyway, right? So or even add a saber and raid later on. So yeah, I do get the but he should have been careful there, because now he's gonna have to delete a wall or build a gate, or like the vill is walled out of his side of the map. So Jan's here fighting a bit with musketeers. Not really enough stuff for Snow to challenge his this Janissaries, and we do have Abiskans as well coming in. He's actually just gonna walk the villager all the way around. I mean, at this point, you might as well delete one segment of wall and rebuild it. It's just 5 wood. It's much cheaper than walking all around, right? But I guess it takes more APM.
Yep.
So it's
but Osmane dropping the shipment point into the pond here, so could be thinking about sending galleys soon, which is going to give him a lot more confidence walking to the base here, as he'll have something to retreat to.
Yeah, and they might even...
maybe he wants to wait a little bit until they're a little bit closer. I don't know if they're on the way yet, so might just want to wait until he actually has a shipment available. But that might give Snow enough time to age up with the 700 gold shipment coming in. And no, there's the galley shipment now. Oh
no, that's so bad. Oh my god.
Yeah, only gets one.
Just makes you want to resign. He should have been careful. You always should ship them in that part of the pond. It's the bigger part, and it's just safer to do that. It's kind of unfortunate because really, it could have been 2, I think. Like, it should have most of the time been 2, but you never know. And yeah, I do like that this galley is in range of the TP, or more like, I mean, the TP is in range of the galley. But Snow is gonna ship caravels himself, although they might also not spawn. I don't know. Like,
I think there's a lot more space. I think there's a lot more space where that flag is than where Osmane's flag is. So that's rather unfortunate for him. However, he does have Abyss guns, of course, to help fight that if he's close enough at the time.
Yeah, but it's
going to be spotting this army. Does it get picked off here? Osmane, kill the scout. There we go.
Yeah, he got it. So yeah, well, I don't know, man. It's like, usually the point is that with Abyss guns you can swing the fight in your favor, the water fight. Oh god, this is so unfortunate. Now he lost.
Yeah, and galleys have less HP than caravels as well, so they go down very, very quickly.
Yeah, he literally traded a galley shipment for 1 trading post. That's just so bad. And he's just really behind now because of that. Because yeah, my point is that Abyss guns help you win the fight, but if you end up having no galleys, it doesn't matter too much. So yeah, anyway, Osmane needs to hit and run war, and yeah, I think it's gonna be GG. To be honest, I feel like, although, never mind. I don't know. The gens in melee are just wrecking everything, like including the musketeers. So it might be close.
Yeah, but it looks like he's gonna get the worst end of the trade, as there's still a lot of hussars up. A few more hussars that could reinforce from Snow as well that aren't moving right now.
That is so over. Like, anyway, you don't want to be trading when you're auto against France. Even with a stagecoach, you kind of want to be winning fights. And yeah, that was an unfortunate game. First, the Tomahawk killing a villager and denying the front base must have been quite feels bad, man, for Osmane. Then building up that wall was nice, but it didn't actually help him at all. So it was just a waste of resources here. And then that galley just being wasted there, and then yeah, just GG losing his army. That was just really unfortunate.
Yeah. To be fair though, I don't know if having that galley would have actually made much of a difference in this game. His army was a little bit out of position when the caravels popped anyway. Maybe both galleys would have gone down pretty quickly.
Maybe, but
still sucks for sure.
Yeah, let's say he might have been left with 1 galley to 0 caravel, and then he might have been able to defend his units from well, instead of getting crushed here, right? He could have been defending them with his galley. Maybe
Hmm.
it could have made a difference. Then grab the last trading post, be up with 40 piece to 0, and France maybe like out of gold soon. Although he does have a little bit left in base, but I mean, you know what I mean, right? Even if CDBs would be exposed to well, I can't flare it, but there's CDBs next to the pond that would be exposed to the galley. Then he would need to move out to his next hunt, and yeah, I don't know. I could have seen it being going the other way around actually. If everything went well for Osman, I could see him winning this game. But there, it's just like it was just brutal here.
Yeah, definitely.
And that last fight, Osman was even ahead in military population, but he just lost it really hard. Didn't do the best job backering either, and
Oh well.
well, so that's 2-1 for Snow, and it's match point already actually. And next map is going to be new Thar is interesting. So that's an OTP map. Maybe gonna see some Dutch from Snow here, because I know he's quite comfortable with Dutch as well, and I don't really see what else he would put on Thar. I don't know if he can play Russia or Aztecs.
He could go back to India,
Oh yeah, right. He actually didn't win with India, so yeah, I guess he could just be India here. You're right.
but I think he's pretty comfortable with Russia as well. Maybe he hasn't played them so much recently, but I know he's played them a fair bit in the past.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He has a few options for sure on this map.
Yeah, we'll see. So what does this mean in German? Let's make it fast. I don't know what's KB. It's probably some slang. So my German is really not good enough for that. Uh, but apparently Snow has stayed too much in the sun today, and I don't know. My German is really not so good. So yeah, Snow might be getting spammed there, going offline, saying nothing, or he might just be relogging. I don't know.
Hopefully, just relogging.
Yeah, nah. Okay, yeah, Osman now, so probably getting spammed. Good to see our friend, our no life friend, is still having fun. So, uh,
I guess Game Ranger.
well, if we get the sieves, we can go in fast, but we first need to get them to pick the sieves. So I'm PMing with Snow, then we can try to go quickly.
Yeah, we can
In
try that
the
as well.
but he's asking me the map, and then he's just getting kicked right when I tell him the map. So I guess it's gonna be Game Ranger. That's unfortunate. Ah. Osman says he doesn't have any decks on Game Ranger.
I can send them to him.
Oh, I got kicked myself apparently.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'll send Osmane some home cities.
Yeah, just I guess PM him over Discord, and I don't actually have Eric on Discord though, or maybe I do. I'm not sure. So I'm gonna put up the overlay then. I guess we can keep the sound, but there's not gonna be much to watch. So yeah, overlay. Damn, Osman doesn't have Eric on Discord, so we need to communicate with him in some way. And now ESO is down, apparently.
I have him on Skype.
Oh.
I don't know if he's online, though. No, it looks like he's not. Is he in Twitch chat?
No, he's not. So we're gonna... Well, at least we can get Osman meanwhile to create a deck and stuff. And meanwhile, I'm gonna try to get online on ESO and contact Eric.
Yeah, it looks like ESO might be down, though.
Yeah, it is down. So yeah, sorry guys, we're gonna do our best to resume the series as quickly as possible. I need to put a timer. 19. Whoops, I need to update the...
Oh, I think I have Eric added, actually. I have him added on Game Ranger, actually.
Oh, okay, and is he online there?
Yeah, he's online.
Oh, okay, that's good then. So I need to set up my EP for Game Ranger, and then we can see what's up. Are you typing with Osman at the moment?
Yep.
Okay, good.
All right, Eric is hosting if you want to join.
Sure. I need to set up for Game Ranger now, and okay. Yeah, it's my new computer. I need to download Game Ranger, my bad. I forgot about that. I'm used to having it ready, but not here, so yeah. That's unfortunate. Okay. Well, I guess anyway, Osman needs a bit of time to make home cities. I mean, to create decks, right? So I have a bit of time to download it, I hope.
Say again?
No, because I need to download Game Ranger, but I think it's okay because anyway,
Oh,
Osman.
right, you're on a new computer.
Yeah, so but I guess Osman needs to create decks and stuff anyway, so oh well, and it's so fast in fact.
Thar Desert, right?
Yeah. I need to remember my email though. Oh well, I guess I could create a new account, but it's probably faster to just well, I'm gonna try. Uh okay, good. Looks like I got the good credentials. Yeah, right. Uh yeah. Blah blah blah. Okay, I mean. Oh, so damn it.
Un eau biol auto-bronzant, une nouvelle
That
formule
sucks.
renforcée plus efficace.
Ah, I needed to mute my wait. I get an ad like super loud and it's usually muted for me, but I okay, sorry for that. You guys couldn't hear Mitoe for a while. I just had to mute my computer sound because there was an ad on Game Ranger.
Yeah, that's why I keep Game Ranger muted in my sound mixer.
Yeah, I just did it now, but I couldn't do it fast enough. It was faster to mute it on OBS. So okay.
Fair enough.
Well, yeah, we are in the Game Ranger lobby now, and I'm not sure what's next now. Did they pick the sieves? Did they
Yeah,
set
they've
up the...
snow locked Russia, and Osmane's just making a deck against Russia. He didn't say with what civ, but as soon as he's finished decking, we'll get going here.
Okay, right. Okay, so Snow has got a deck, but he does need to set up his patch, his Game Ranger for the patch. And hmm. Okay. Don't need to restart Game Ranger?
No, all it
Oh,
does is swap the exe files around. So H3F exe becomes H3Y, which is the one that Game Ranger looks for when it starts the game.
yeah, but I saw that Game Ranger would already load, like, I mean, how should I say?
Nah,
Yeah,
you
something
don't need
like
to
that.
restart Game Ranger.
Okay, yeah. RIP.
Rip indeed.
Well, doesn't matter too much anyway.
Game Ranger starts quickly. He just needs to find the lobby again.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna be starting the series again very shortly. And that's still 2-1 for Snow against Osman. match point of this best of 5. I hope we get a good game now, and maybe another game after that.
Yeah, it's not over yet. Eric could win this next game and win the series, but Osmane could definitely
Come
bring it
back.
up to game 5.
Yeah. I mean, 2-1 isn't too bad, right? It always happens in a best of 5, right? I mean, it doesn't always happen, but it's like the closest you can get. Like at some point, one player has to be up 2-1. It's not like it's 2-0. Then it would be very hard to come back. But definitely an opportunity for Osman here, especially since he's gonna be counter peaking now. So he could bring it up to 2-2. Yeah, but Snow is not hosting anymore.
Osmane's hosting. Join that one.
Okay. You can actually invite me to someone else's lobby. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Nice.
Your Game Ranger ID tag is so new. 5.5 million. You're not one of the OG Game Ranger users like me with the 300,000 ID number.
Wow. That's really something I must be proud of, right? Being a Game Ranger scrub. That's great.
Yeah, I used only Game Ranger for several years actually, because
Yeah,
it was the only way to play AoE on Mac.
Yep, Mac scrub, Game Ranger scrub. That's the same thing. So pretty bad. But now you moved over to ESO, so we forgive you for that.
All right, thank you.
So we are launching Age of Empires, guys. Not gonna be too long until we get the game now. Is there anything else to cast after this series? I'm not sure. I'm gonna check. Oh, there is Kinesis against I Am Turk in 25 minutes, actually. That feels bad, man, that we got spammed.
Yeah, that should be a good series.
Yeah, that has to be casted, I think. But I might not be able to cast it, actually. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Let's first finish the series.
Yep. Are you joining?
Yeah, I need to... I don't have any home city, actually. So, yeah, no, I can join. I'm not sure if you load Watch If Civilizations, but I guess it doesn't matter.
Let me know when I can join, I guess.
Yeah, you can come now.
So it looks like it's going to be Russia versus India.
Oh well, that's definitely a good counter pick to Russia from Osmane here.
Don't forget to take the overlay off, by the way.
I'm doing it now.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. That's good. I need to close the timer. And yes, we are back, guys. I mean, the sound was always here, but the stream is back. See, the Age of Empires window is back, and we do have this game 5 of the best of no, game 4 of the best of 5 between KINGofOsmane and Snow. Gonna be underscore KINGofOsmane now on Game Ranger. I hope you guys are not gonna be too confused by that. And that's gonna be Thar decent. Osman counter peaking Russia with India, a very solid counter peak indeed. Do you want to introduce the players in a few moments when the game is done being recorded?
I suppose I can do that.
Yeah. I've been nice this time. I did most of the introductions. I did all the work. Now it's a bit your turn to do some. All right.
All right, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the bottom of the map here, we have the green Indian player, KINGofOsmane, being down 2-1 in this series. Please update the score. We're out of sync.
What?
Something's going on. No. Why?
What the hell, man?
Maybe someone didn't configure the patch correctly. Go back to Game Ranger.
Oh, we need. Okay, we go back to Game Ranger. Okay, if you want.
Yeah, I imagine someone's gonna have to fix something anyway. So.
Can you even join each other if you
Shouldn't really be able to.
like if someone is on RE and the other's on EP?
Possible someone maybe used the SmackDown patch launcher or something, because that doesn't CRC, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We should all just check, to be honest, because before you actually switch from Game Ranger to ESO in the launcher, it asks you to confirm, so you can read the text and see if it says like you're gonna go back to ESO setup or to Game Ranger setup. So we should just like all make a simulation of that. And this patch is currently configured to support Game Ranger, so that's not me. Sorry for that, guys. We thought we were good to... No, not switch to EP beta. No, no way.
Oh, maybe that's what happened.
Yeah, well, that would make sense, right? I guess if he's on the EP beta and we're on the regular EP, it could... I mean, no, I guess he's on RE then if he does switch. You're 100% sure we don't need to restart Game Ranger after switching?
Yeah, I'm 100% certain.
Okay, so it can't be that. But yeah, they should definitely close the game in the launcher after switching.
Alright, let's try this again, though.
Yeah, let's go. Game Ranger is always a challenge to master. Like, usually just we always have a little bit of trouble to get the series starting on Game Ranger, but yeah, it's gonna be starting anytime soon. And then I hope if it takes too long, I hope Kinesi and I Am Turk will be able to wait a little bit and delay the series so that it can be casted after this one. Maybe by me, maybe not. I need to get confirmation from other people if I am actually going out or not. So if I'm not able to cast them against Kinesi, I hope someone can, like you or someone else.
Yeah, probably will be able to.
Okay,
looks
so
like
don't go in for now. I
it
mean,
looks like Snow couldn't. Hang on. Go back.
Okay, we need to go back to Game Ranger again. Not sure what happened there.
One of these days when we switch to Game Ranger, it's going to be easy. One of these days.
Yeah. Right. Still waiting for that day. I did get a weird bug when loading, like going in the LAN, saying it say the an IP address is not valid or something. I'm not sure if that was maybe Snow bugging.
I don't know.
It's always so hard. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Do you know that guy actually?
No.
I was wondering if you're so much of a Game Ranger scrub that you just tell random people please leave and they leave because they know you and respect you.
No, I don't know any of the Game Ranger players on Windows.
All right, yeah. That makes sense. So, let's try one more time. Okay. But to be honest, I also wish the players would maybe be a little bit more ready to move over to Game Ranger. I mean, I can't blame them because myself, I didn't have it installed this time just because I have a new computer. But, you know, we have to be ready for that to happen. Anyway, we do have everything working now. I mean, unless we get it out of sync again, but I hope not.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
hopefully
gonna
everything works this time. Third time's the charm.
right, I guess. We do have the Game Ranger, I mean the Age of Empires lobby for you guys now, and waiting for the players to green up, and then hopefully it's not gonna be out of sync, and we can play this game. I mean, they can play this game, and we can watch it. Yeah.
Just waiting for Snow here. Term or something.
Well, for both of them actually.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Launching into the game again.
Yeah.
I will do the introductions again this time once the game has started, and hopefully I will have longer than 5 seconds to do the intro.
Well, just in case, just do it really, really fast.
Really, really
Then
fast.
if it goes out of sync, at least people will have your insane introduction. Just do it like interjection style, like talking super, super fast, and it will be nice. Uh, no, really, let's just hope it doesn't OOS this time.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to do this now. All right, so spawning in the southwest of the map here, we do have in the green Indians, King of Osmane. Currently down 2-1 in the series. Update the score if you haven't already.
Yeah.
He's going to be looking to take back, take the game to game 5, or take the series to game 5. Sorry, in this 4th game here, which has not gone out of sync so far, so that is good. And his opponent, Snow, also known as King Eric. So the game of kings here, currently leading the series, looking to pick up his win and advance to the round of 8. It's going to be the blue Russian player.
Right. So, I didn't hear. Did you say the crate stop? I'm not sure.
It's a win. I didn't say this crate start though. No, and it looks like going to be dropping a market for Snow. Actually,
the wood start is pretty good for India for sure in this matchup. Although, yeah, he does drop a market. Maybe gonna hope to find some nice coin treasure. I don't think he's actually gonna mine for it. It's always really painful as Russia.
Yeah, though he did get a 50 wood treasure, so he's not going to have to chop any wood for that.
If you don't get sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's not going to be too bad for him because of that, but a little bit.
Oh, wait, let's call again on Discord. It's lagging now. So let's call back. Okay?
Okay.
Come on. Yeah. I couldn't click on it. Okay, good.
Hear me?
Yeah, hopefully now it's better. Like, it was fine the entire call, and recently just started lagging. Just when we finally get to cast the game. So I hope it's better now.
Yeah, it seems okay now. Sometimes the Discord server you're connected to just bugs out a bit and you have to switch servers, so...
Yeah, it's kind of buggy, Discord, on this point. So yeah, now it should be good, I think. What? He made a deck, but it's not here? How is this possible?
Are you?
No.
Well, he doesn't care. Okay. Well, that's up to him then. That deck. I mean, if they play Colonial, he has like the 5 more important.
He has the most important shipments in here, so like, it's playable.
If you play it until the 6th shipment of or the 7th shipment of the game, so like you can use your wood trickle, the 2 big crates and the unit shipments and boyas, and it's fine. Then after that you might even get out at the arsenal, but I mean Osman could just build a bunch of walls here and just try to force it to late game or something, I guess. But yeah, well, that's a bit unfortunate, but shouldn't be too much of a problem, I guess, in this matchup, hopefully. It's also a map where usually it's quite aggressive, but...
Okay. Well, anyway. We'll see what's going on here.
Yeah, to be honest, after all the rehost, would be nice if we don't need to rehost now at 2 minutes some.
Yeah, it looks like we're probably going to be playing this one out. So, wood trickle going to be coming in for both players. So nothing funky going on. Just looking at Osmane's deck, it looks pretty standard as well, so no surprise there. He does have Enlist Irregulars in his deck, though, which gives him a little bit more defensive options against Russia, potentially, if Snow goes a little bit all-in, or if he wants to try and sneak in an age-up somehow or something later on. Maybe that will be something we see.
Yeah.
Not something super standard for India, though.
Yeah, but Russia is definitely one of the civs against which you may want to be shipping colonial militia or enlist irregulars, which is the Asian equivalent of CM, just because it just makes you one-shoot boss musketeers and straightheads, and also probably 1 or 2 less hits on the Cossacks, I'm not sure, but so it is definitely one of the more viable matchups where you can ship that card. It's not like you're up against, I don't know, let's say like France or whatever, and you just still need to hit the musketeers in 2 shots. I don't know. Like against Russia, it could be an option, but definitely. I mean, it's not a map where you want to be sitting with colonial militia just because there's not too many hunts, and then you need to move out anyway, so it's kind of awkward. But I guess it's just a standard Indian deck there against Russia, and doesn't not especially made for this map maybe, but we'll see. 3 villagers building a forward but not 2 forward blockhouse. I think that's because he actually forgot to pull them. I noticed that he had already more than 250 wood and no forward villagers, and then kind of last second he pulled 3 villas, and this is probably kind of a compromise, right? Like going for a rather forward blockhouse but not too much, because he has to drop it soon because he was a bit late sending his villagers.
Yeah, for sure. And see what the first shipment is. Hasn't sent it just yet, but I imagine he'll send it soon. And there it is. Just looking at his population, it's going to be 13 Strelets, actually, as the first card for Snow here. So going to have a quick massive infantry to maybe deal with some defensive sepoys or something that would maybe normally be trained to get 5 Cossack. Or actually, I guess he could be Wait, I could be... Okay, he's training 10 Strelets and sending Cossack. Never mind. My deduction is wrong. But Strelet's still going to be good against defensive sepoys either way.
Well, I think that's why usually you want to make Gorkhas and just use the sepoy and elephants and the TC and Agra fire to deal with the Cossacks maybe, and kind of just micro enough to defend, because if you go sepoy, you just kind of weak against the Strelets, I guess. But we'll see what Osman does.
He could also call the sentries to deal with this, but
he did train 2 sepoys though. And going surprisingly aggressive with his sepoys, yeah. So India gonna lose a villager and be forced to call the sentries, and not gonna get too much out of it. I mean, he's gonna force Russia back, obviously, but not really killing anything. He killed 1 Cossack, but you know, with all the idle time and stuff, it's not. I think that was pretty good for Russia here.
Yeah, definitely, especially now that the monks are going to be going down here.
Oh, yeah, that's very
only losing 1 Cossack and 2 Strelets for 2 monks, a villager, all of the sentries, and 1 sepoy seems like a pretty solid trade to me, and going to be forcing some more idle time here as well. And behind it, he's sending 700 wood, so we can start getting some more infrastructure up, grab some more market upgrade, and potentially a second blockhouse and a stable will help him secure the map a little bit and diversify his unit composition moving forward here, whereas KINGofOsmane going to have to struggle a little bit to sort of regroup his villagers, re-macro a little bit. He did send the wood trickle first, so he's being a little bit greedy, but
yeah.
Other than that, he should be all right for the time being, at least.
Yeah, I mean, he did, like, this was a good trade for Russia, but when we take into account the fact that Osman got away with the wood trickle first, it's not too bad for India. He is quite ahead in eco, and gonna be ahead in eco for a while. Gonna keep popping these extra 3 villagers from the shipments, and Russia will eventually catch up because they train villagers faster, but it's gonna take a while. And when that happens, India will most likely have a superior unit composition and stronger units, but we'll see. Cossacks trying to raid a bit, but Sepoy is just pushing them back. And Consulate going up for Osman, so gonna go most likely for the 300 export next, and we'll see what he does with it. I don't know how.
Yeah, likely.
I don't think it's very interesting to get the villagers on this map. You don't really have too much time for them to pay off. Maybe more interesting to either get the Hussars, which is definitely interesting against Russia, or go in British Consulate for the HP boost and the redcoats. But I don't feel like you should invest in the Ottoman villagers. What do you think?
I think it might be okay. He's got another hunt behind his base. Like, he's got a decent amount of resources in base for sure. I think it could potentially pay off. Gonna rescue these monks. It looks like they might just go down, I think. No, okay, Snow's not gonna get there in time. But yeah, the main reason you're going to send Diplomatic Intrigue here is just so you can get the Ottoman consulate. Then you sort of have the option for the Minutemen, as well as either the Hussars or the Villagers, sort of depending on the situation in the game. But doesn't have it in just yet, and this could be bad for him. Regulars being called now, some Villagers being forced to garrison. Not a lot of units out here. He does have the Ottoman consulate now, actually allying before Diplomatic Intrigue comes in, just so he can get the Minutemen out a little bit faster when it does come in, maybe. But the unit's getting caught here, and the Minutemen do come out, but not actually doing anything at the moment, just walking.
Maybe a little bit too greedy there, going for wood trickle, and he's resigning actually, so that's a very quick last game, and well, Russia does clean this up.
Yeah, and this is sort of why normally you wouldn't want to go for wood trickle first in this situation, because it makes it very difficult to get that consulate down without 600 wood. And then if you do send 600 wood instead of Diplomatic Intrigue second, then you just end up with a situation where you're stuck waiting for that card, and you don't have the 3 Hussars out, you don't have the option for Minutemen yet because you haven't allied just yet, because you normally want to wait.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just ended up being not the best situation for him.
Osman just kind of setting up a bit too much for the long term here, like getting his infrastructures up with 600 wood as well as getting the wood trickle. You know, like he's got a stable, he's got that consulate, he's got a market, and I don't know, some upgrades probably, and some houses and stuff. Like he's got everything set up, but just no units because he didn't have time to produce anything, and this 300 export comes too late. So yeah, maybe he could have been cutting the wood trickle or something else there. But well, anyway, that's a convincing last win for Snow. So winning the series 3-1, a series that started pretty well for Osman, winning the first game quite fine, but losing by quite a margin in the next 3 games. So convincing win here from Eric. And